What we have here is our Hpfsrt project. It's based off an MY15 SRT8 Jeep. Standard, this car has a 6.4 litre engine in it, making 344 kilowatts and around 624 newton metres of torque. This baby will go standard in stock form 0 to 100 in about 4.9 seconds. Trackhawk, it has 522 kilowatts and 868 newton metres. Trackhawk smashes it in 3.7 seconds. This car has an 8-speed transmission, so does the Trackhawk, but the Trackhawk admittedly does have a lot of strengthening components, but what we wanted to do is see if we could do it on a bit of a budget using the driveline in this car to achieve the same sort of performance figures reliably. Clearly we needed to put a supercharger on it because we needed to get some boost in it to make that sort of power, which obviously the Trackhawk runs a supercharger. We need to strengthen up the internals a bit, so it is a known fact that these Apache engines have relatively weak pistons and rods, so one of the first things we knew we had to do was put a billet conrod and piston into it, which obviously meant pulling the engine out and rebuilding it. Apart from that, there was a few things we wanted to do just to add further strength. We put ARP head studs in it, ARP main studs, but pretty much the bottom end, that's all we did. We didn't put a camshaft in it. This car already has variable cam timing. Gives you the best of both worlds. It gives you smooth idle and still good wide power and torque range. The other thing that we did while the engine was apart, our good friend at Higgins Race Heads, CNC ported the heads for us. Now, we have a chassis dyno, so there's a lot of debate over what the engine power would be, but I can tell you that this car made pretty much 400 kilowatts at all 4 wheels, so you can work it out on the drivetrain loss you want, but it's plenty of power. And that certainly equated to a good track time. When we went out to Calder, we were able to achieve Trackhawk-like times of 11.7 was our best, 118 mile an hour. I definitely believe the car's got more in it, but even at that, we achieved our target, which was basically to run those similar sort of times to the Trackhawk. Okay, so we've talked a little bit about the power, obviously the engine, the supercharger. We needed to do some things obviously to support that power. One of them was we needed to change the exhaust. Up front we've got 1 7/8 inch primaries, 4-into-1 headers, into a 200 cell high flow cat, going into a dual 3-inch exhaust that we actually developed ourselves. When I started fitting exhaust to these cars, I wasn't happy with a lot of the notes, the cabin noise, so we went about working with a local manufacturer to develop our own system, and this system's a little bit different. It's quad tip. We fitted a different rear apron to allow for that, which it's got carbon tips, pretty cool, but it's an option that we do offer. Car sounds fantastic, no cabin drone, very, very happy with the end result. So we talked a little bit about the fact that we did put a supercharger on this engine, but I didn't sort of go into detail. So I just wanted to just quickly run through. The kit we fitted to this car is the Yellowterra WHIPPLE 2.9 litre kit. Comes complete with everything, injectors, fuel system, comes with an air intake, and the larger capacity supercharger definitely works well with the larger capacity engine, being that it's a 6.4 litre. So we've talked about the engine, going fast, but we need the car to also handle and brake accordingly. So while this car has good brakes, it's got Brembo calipers standard, it's got good size wheels and tyres, but we wanted to improve the handling. So first thing we did is we put some lowered springs in it. So we went to an e-back spring, which lowers at about 25 mil at the front and about 35 at the rear. So it's still, it has a nice ride. It's not too low, it's not riding on its stomach or anything. It's still got a nice ride to it. The other thing I did, which actually made a big difference, is changing the wheels and tyres. Now, the standard, these things have got a 20-inch wheel with a run flat tyre, and the run flat tyres, part of their characteristics is they have a very hard sidewall. I mean, that's how they can run on the road when they're flat. We went to a conventional radial tyre on a 22-inch rim. Now you would think that the ride would be harsher on a 22-inch rim than a 20-inch rim, but in actual fact, going to a conventional radial, the ride actually improved. And so the combination of the e-back springs and the 22-inch rims, the car actually rides beautiful. We've made the car handle better. but we need to make it brake better. So what we went about doing is fitting some DBA 5000 series rotors to the front with Project New pads, and then to the rear we fitted a 4000 series rotor with a Project New pad. Now, straight away I felt a massive difference in the brake pedal. The Project New pads are really good. They're not squealy, not too much dust, but they give you a really good pedal feel, and they're heat resistant, so they really maintain that pedal feel. Look, overall what we wanted to do is create a car that looked a little bit different. Obviously it's a promotional vehicle for us, so we went with a two-tone wrap. I sort of like the idea of a bit of old school. Hemi has that sort of feel about it. So we've gone the two-tone. It's got a bronze highlight through here to sort of match the wheels. The wheels are actually bronze, and I should mention that the wheels are actually a Hellcat replica, so they're still fitting in with the whole Hemi theme. The other thing we did is we fitted a front lip spoiler just to give it a little bit more aggression. You know, look, I'm really happy. I think the car stands out on the road. It's not too over the top, but it just looks tough and has a lot of street appeal, which is what we're looking for. But, you know, we're never done. We're always going to be doing more, and I would certainly keep your eye on Facebook and our website for updates as we do more and more upgrades to this car and other cars, other Jeeps out there. We've got quite a few in our stable now that are way more crazy than this, so make sure you check us out on our Facebook site, and yeah, hopefully we'll see you at the track.